Hello and welcome to the Bobcat Bulletin. I'm Amaya Palmer.
And I'm Anna Ward. Today we'll be covering everything from pumpkin carving to drones.
Over the past weekend, Texas State held its homecoming game on October 22nd. Let's hear more about it.
Fans gathered at Bobcat Stadium on Saturday to cheer on the Texas State football team for their homecoming game against the Southern Miss Golden Eagles. The Bobcats put up a good fight, but came out on the losing end with a final score of 20-14, making this their first home loss this season. The Golden Eagles lead the first half 10-0. Lane Hatcher makes a touchdown pass to Javin Banks at the very end of the second quarter, followed by a field goal, leaving the score 13-7 Southern Miss. After a tough first half, the Bobcats rally. Ashton Hawkins makes a rush for a second touchdown with only a minute and 21 seconds left in the fourth quarter, followed by another field goal, putting the Bobcats in the lead 14-13. Astonishingly, the Golden Eagles make their way across the field for a touchdown made by Pittman during the last 31 seconds of the game, followed by a field goal resulting in the final score 20-14 Southern Miss. Bobcats coach Spavital speaks after such a devastating loss.
I figured this thing out and keep working. That's the only thing that I know how to do and we know how to do is just get back to work and correct it, and we'll be back in here tomorrow getting after it, and then we'll put that together a plan and make our corrections and go take our shot at ULM on the road.
On a positive note, Texas State crowned their homecoming king and queen during halftime. Congratulations to homecoming king Adam Holden and homecoming queen Amaya Ward. Be sure to join the Bobcats at their next home game on November 19th against Arkansas State.
Texas State University has around 560 international students. Up next, hear from an exchange student from South Korea and their experience at Texas State.
Being a foreign exchange student can be very difficult. Here's Helen with sharing her experience.
I'm Haerim Jung, and I am an exchange student from South Korea. I'm majoring in mass communication at Texas State, and I'm junior at Hankuk University of Foreign Studies. As an exchange student, language is the hardest thing. I can't understand most of the lecture and have trouble making sentences. I like the nature and people of Texas. When I go back to Korea, I want to meet friends and hang out. I applied the exchange student program and I chose where I wanted to go. I submitted the application and an academic plan, and I got interviewed.
I'm Faith Hoover with Bobcat Bulletin. Back to you.
One of the most unique events in the New Braunfels area is Wurst Fest. The annual 10-day festival that has been deemed the best 10 days in sausage history was founded by a local city meat inspector in the early 1960s. From humble beginnings, Wurst Fest has become a major attraction in the area as time has gone by. The event has grown from a sausage festival to offer a variety of food, entertainment, drinks, and an overall celebration of German culture. Wurst Fest begins November 4th and runs until November 13th at the Cultural Center in New Braunfels. For more information, visit wurstfest.com.
Are you ready for the upcoming holidays? From Halloween to Thanksgiving and Christmas, we will hear from 3 Texas State students on which holiday is their favorite.
And students on campus are pretty excited about it. We all know that cooler weather brings our favorite holidays. Let's see which holidays Texas State students are looking forward to the most.
Well, my favorite holiday would have to be Halloween. I just think it's great, like spooky time. You get to dress up, be whatever you want, just get like candy, stuff like that. I love candy personally, so that's probably Halloween.
My favorite holiday is Halloween, which is because that's when I went on my first date, I want to say, and I ended up dating her for up until now. So, No, we're still together. Going on like 3 years now.
I would say my favorite holiday is Thanksgiving because I love going home and being with my family and everyone's together. And also the weather feels really good, so it's not too cold, but it's also not too hot, so you could still do things outside with everyone and go outside and play games. And of course, the food is amazing. yeah, I think that would be why Thanksgiving's my favorite holiday.
Well, Bobcats, it looks like we're all eager for the holiday season. I'm Ray. Thank you so much for watching. Back to the studio.
Have you ever wondered why people carve pumpkins for Halloween every year? Pumpkin carving starts from the Irish myth of Stingy Jack, who tricked the devil for monetary gain. When he died, it was rumored for him to roam the earth for eternity, so the Irish people started to carve faces into turnips to ward off his spirit. When Irish immigrants moved to the U.S., they continued this tradition, but with the native pumpkins instead. Pumpkin carving became a Halloween tradition after the Roman Catholic Church moved All Saints' Day to November 1st, causing the traditions of Hallows Eve to be moved to October 31st.
Texas State Homecoming is one of the university's longest-standing annual traditions, with special events occurring throughout the week to show off the Bobcat spirit. One of the oldest events is the Soapbox Derby, a tradition started in 1967 by the Intra-Fraternity Council, in which student organizations get to build their own homemade cards that are launched from a ramp down a hill where gravity breaks or hay bales complete the competition. This event is a chance for students to connect and come together to celebrate our university.
Are you in trouble with the law? The Attorney for Students allows legal aid to all currently enrolled Texas State students at no extra cost, giving you the opportunity to focus on your education rather than your legal troubles. Their services include anything from rent leases, criminal, immigration, and many more. Check out their website at txst.edu.com for more information, or visit their office at LBJ Student Center, Level 5. After the break, we'll be back with more information on student housing and as well as drones.
Stay with us.
Up next, a store called Comic Relief is dedicated to supplying antique figures, comic books, and collectibles, just located on Ocarina Springs.
Across the street from Bobcat Stadium is Comic Relief, a shop that's sole purpose has been to help their customers remember a simpler time. Brian Stewart has owned and operated the store for the past 30 years.
I was born in the late 40s, and I decided I got tired of working for the man in the 80s, so I decided to open up my own business. You know, I had a lot of background in retail management and sales and inventory, and I knew a lot about collectibles. And I learned a long time ago that people like to collect things, especially people like to go back and remember the good times when they were kids. So comic books, baseball cards, toys, all kind of collectibles, coins. Comic books in general pretty much represent American culture. You know, our comic books, they're current with what's going on in the world today. Yeah, and people are always good guy against bad guys, you know, trying to save the world. Same old storyline. Yeah, but that's just the basis of comic books, you know. But they're more diverse than they used to be. It's not just superhero comic books. It's sci-fi, horror, mystery, and just outright weird comics too. I mean, there's something for everybody. It is diverse. It is very diverse. A lot more girls buy comic books than they used to. They come in here. Graphic novels is probably the biggest change in the industry. The movies didn't make the comics. The comics made the movies. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And you watch it. And you show it on and you watch it.
I'm Ty Evans for the Bobcat Update. Back to you guys in the studio.
Election Day is coming up on November 8th, and as we get ready to cast our votes for our public officials, here's some information you should know about Election Day. This November, we are voting for midterm positions that hold office for 2 years instead of 4 years. Some of these positions include the House of Representatives, Senate, and state and local offices. The city of San Marcos has been highly active in trying to get every eligible person that can vote to register. This includes anybody over 18. Texas State University has had a voter-friendly campus organization since 2020, which encourages students to register and vote in elections. With November 8th being so near, people prepare to vote and decide what happens in the more local aspect of government.
Sean Hewitt is the head coach for the volleyball team here at Texas State and has been since 2020. Although he is fairly new to the head coaching position, he isn't a stranger to the campus. Sean previously was the assistant head coach here for 14 years before being promoted, and rightfully so. In his 2 years as the head coach, he has led the Bobcats to a 29-3 record against Sunbelt Conference opponents and has overall led us to 11 conference titles, the most recent title won in the 2020 season. As for now, the 2022-2023 campaign has begun, so make sure to go out to support your Texas State Bobcats.
When looking at the current housing situation on campus, it appears Texas State is struggling to keep up with student living demands. The largest freshman class has just arrived at Texas State, and they are struggling to find housing. Dorms across campus have gone from doubles to triples. Some students are even living in temporary hotel rooms across town from campus. One reason for the housing shortage is that incoming first-year students must live on campus for their first year at Texas State, according to the Department of Housing's website. This policy aims to enhance the student experience, but it has caused some problems for others. Freshmen who do not need student housing acquire it, while returning students who need accommodation cannot buy it. Other reason for the housing dispute is that Texas State underestimated how many students would decide to continue the process after the university accepted them. Texas State must develop a new housing plan by next year, or they might have to turn students away due to their lack of housing.
News of San Marcos in need of a new barber. In our next segment, we have you covered.
Students transition from being home to becoming Bobcats at Texas State. It can be a challenge to find local barbers in a new environment. I spoke with Eyes on Me Barber College barber, tapered by Mike, to learn about the services the shop provides.
It's really both. Like, you gotta have a good haircut, but also you gotta have a good experience to go with the haircut. If you can find a good cut anywhere, but the experience will bring people back. I've been cutting hair at this barbershop. It'll be 2 years, January 6th, in like 2 years. The haircuts that I do is like curly black hair. I mean, I can do any kind, but mainly it's curly ethnic hair. That's the better word to teach for it. People can book me through the app called Cut, THECUT. It's on the App Store. You download the app, search for Tapered by Mike, put the location in, and you can see my work on Instagram. Mainly, I became a barber. It helped me realize that I can pretty much run on my own schedule. It just fit my personality, really. I like to run on my own schedule. I like being around people, talking, laughing. So barbering just put that all together with a source of income with it. So I just decided to do it.
Feeling good and looking good is part of the journey of being in college. With the services and experiences you'll have at Eyes on Me Barber College, it will give you just that. I'm Juwan Nash for Bobcat Bulletin. Back to you.
Next, Pastor Jamie will be giving us his insight behind his dad advice panel. Let's check it out.
What's up, Bobcats? My name is Jacob. Today I'll be talking to Pastor Jamie about his dad advice panel. Let's get started. Jamie, you told me the other day that you've been here for 14 years with the dad advice panel. What inspired you to start the dad advice panel?
Well, I used to come out here and counter-protest to some of the characters who would show up and preach a message of intolerance and hatred. And I decided that I should be out here a little more often, in fact, whenever possible, to be a resource for students and to be a voice, a different voice for the faith that I hold dearly. So I started coming out here, but I knew I would scare people away if it was just, let's talk about your faith. So I wanted to have a board that advertised dad advice and dad jokes and such like that. And if people want to talk about faith, that's great too, but I also just want to be a resource for students where they're at.
What are some common topics or situations that you run into with students that you've heard or helped with?
A lot of relationship issues, also relationships with parents, because students come to college and they come into their own as to who they will be as adults, and sometimes their parents don't like who they're becoming. So those kinds of relationships are part of what I help students navigate on a regular basis.
At your 14 years here, have you seen topics change at all? Like situations change?
Not so much. The things that students talk about seem to be universals and good for lots of time. I think probably one thing that has changed is that there is a much broader acceptance of LGBT students and their issues.
So, and now for my last question, the most important question. What is your favorite dad joke?
Oh, my favorite dad joke? Goodness gracious, it's probably going to have to be, did you hear about the new restaurant on the moon?
No, I did not.
Great food. terrible atmosphere.
That is truly a great dad joke. I'm not gonna lie, I've never heard that one. So, anyways, thank you, sir, for your time. If y'all would like to visit Pastor Jamie, he is located right next to the Fighting Stallion statue. All right, that's it for me. Back to Bobcat Bulletin.
All right, Bobcats, we will catch you after this break.
Keep watching. Have you been swiping left or right on Bumble lately? Next, Chelsea will be discussing her role as a brand ambassador for Bumble.
For Bumble, I work with a team of 3 other Texas State students. My role specifically, I'm a campus impact manager, and with that, I basically work on coordinating Bumble with the Texas State community. So I help put on events, I promote the events that we put on, and then I'm also very active on social media with any events that we're hosting. I'm also the one that reaches out to organizations or other on-campus offices or anything of that nature. Getting an ambassadorship for any program, any company is actually super obtainable. Basically applying and putting yourself out there, looking for these opportunities for yourself, because a lot of companies actually offer ambassadorship programs to college students, which gives you a lot of experience just with marketing and getting to know other people and working for a brand while still being in college. So this is something that anyone could do. Bumble specifically, they do fall and spring applications. So next month you should expect us to have a coffee tab somewhere on the square as well. The details to come, but all 4 of my team members, including myself, we post frequently about the events and we try to get the word out there. Also, we typically have a study sesh around midterms and finals. We'll have a pop-up in one of the library rooms where we just give out merch and we just give out snacks and things of that nature, just to again get integrated with the Texas State community and just let people know that Bumble's on campus, we're here, we want to be integrated with students, and we want to get to know y'all. I'm Chelsea Flannel with Bobcat Bulletin. Back to you.
Construction seems to be an ongoing project on I-35, and the city of San Marcos is currently waiting for it to all be over. Unfortunately, the estimated time of completion is the end of 2023, and some say that's a generous assessment. Engineer Daniel Warden said this construction project is less for the locals and more for the regional travelers. Its goal is to make the journey easier for those taking the trip between Austin and San Antonio. For us in San Marcos, it looks like we have to bite the bullet for at least the next few years.
Over the weekend, the Lost River Festival was held. The festival is a 4-day film festival featuring concerts, interactive events, workshops, and films. Let's hear more about it.
Lost River Film Festival chiefly spotlights independent cinema from October 20th to the 23rd. Presented by the local San Marcos Cinema Club, the name Lost River is titled for the town's fictional name in the campy, locally shot 1978 horror film Piranha. The youthful, progressive, small-town Texas vibe, Lost River intends to prove a splendid mosaic mash of compelling media. Some of the films included indie cinema, international short film, features, and TV web content. I got a chance to speak with Jordan Buckley, one of the festival's co-founders, to give a little more insight of the festival.
Yeah, my name is Jordan Buckley. I'm one of the co-founders and the director of Lost River Film Festival. This is our 6th year of showing new independent cinema from across the globe here in Hays County. And the film festival got started back in 2017. Up until this point, we'd received a fair amount of submissions every year, but we've seen it grow more and more. This past year, we got 262 submissions from across the planet of new independent films, and so we whittled those down to a compilation that we felt good about and wanted to share with the community. We kind of packaged them into different blocks based on shared themes. And so this year we're anchored here at the Price Center for 4 days. We'll also be on campus at Texas State's Performing Arts Center on Sunday, and we've been at the public library for 2 days as well.
The festival also featured Las Hijas de la Madre, a punk poetry band that performed Saturday night.
The government only bails out the grifters and liars. The ice caps are melting. The hurricanes are near. The mass shooting madmen and terrorists live here. Los niños del drogas
This is Aaliyah Lujan with Bobcat Bulletin. Now, back to the studio.
Have you been to the Rec Center lately? The Rec Center holds many different tournaments for students. Up next, let's hear about the women's basketball tournament at the Rec.
This past weekend, Texas State University's Rec Center hosted a female basketball tournament, which included schools such as Texas Southern University and Texas A&M.
So I'm here with AJ Bates, facilities coordinator and head coach of the women's club basketball team here at Texas State University. Aspire to instill life lessons that they can learn here on the basketball court and some things that they can take with them outside of basketball, like time management, communication, being dependable, and then just overall just having a leisure activity as a stress reliever. So for the future, I plan to always be able to provide this opportunity for each generation of students that come in. I would like the women's club basketball team to be a big deal here at Texas State. I appreciate the time, man. All right, appreciate you having me.
This has been Jermaine Graves. Back to you guys in the studio.
As a part of Texas State's Innovation Initiative, a new drone class is now available to students. Drone storytelling is taught by Professor Dale Blasingame, a two-time Lone Star Emmy winner and a digital media innovations faculty member. The class teaches students to fly drones commercially and how to effectively tell a story from the sky. The class also touches on creating 3D rendering using drones. If becoming a certified drone pilot is something you'd be interested in, ask your Texas State counselor about MC 4345 drone storytelling.
Thank you for watching. This has been Bobcat Bulletin. I'm Amaya Palmer.
And I'm Anna Ward. Join us next week for our next broadcast. Have a great day.